Hello, I'm Bill Haskins, the Senior Analyst and Partner over at Wainhouse. We recently conducted an evaluation of market-leading enterprise meeting and calling solutions. We used objective, standards-based testing methodologies, and this short video gives you a sneak peek into our approach and a few key findings. All right, state the obvious up front, right? Evaluating and comparing quality across solutions. It's a tricky business. You ask 10 users which meeting or calling solution is the best, and you're going to get 10 different answers because many of the variables that make a solution great are subjective. Their experience, the familiarity, design, how a solution fits within that user's workflow. But at the base of the conversation, you find this objective layer. It serves as the foundation of the user experience: audio quality, video quality, baseline performance. If a solution does not deliver the goods at that layer, it's unlikely to make its way up the subjective ladder. Users are unlikely to adopt low-quality solutions, and the enterprise is unlikely to deploy them. Well, we can largely thank today's market leaders for the current state of affairs. 8x8, Cisco, Google, Microsoft, RingCentral, Zoom. These are all well-known and well-established players in the cloud calling and meeting conversation, right? Tested each of these vendors, running some through our meeting evaluation, some through our calling evaluation, and some through both. Now, our primary test process followed established industry standards. To measure audio quality, we used Viscal. It produces a moth-like score from 1 to 5 for VoIP solutions. And for video, we used VMAF. It produces a 1 to 100 score for video solutions. We followed an established methodology, sending audio and video reference files through each platform, record the output, compare the results to the original reference files. Of course, it's no longer good enough to be great only in a controlled environment. Now, more than ever, these solutions need to work as well on consumer broadband as they do in a controlled enterprise network. So, we measure the performance across multiple packet loss and latency steps as well. Tests are repeated, scores are tallied, and the results paint a picture of each solution's quality. As we walk through a few of the results, though, keep in mind this testing was conducted in a controlled lab environment. We think the results are useful from a comparative point of view, but your experience may vary based on your own unique environment. Next few sections highlight a few of our primary findings. We're going to start with video quality, the results from our meeting evaluation. All right, let me paint this swim lane chart for you. You have your network conditions along the bottom through each packet loss step, and the VMAF scores on the right. We're just focusing on packet loss results and the baseline scores for this one. You can see the quality ranges we established top to bottom from excellent to bad. Of course, these ranges are expanded from VMAF standard based on our unique testing environment. Now, the baseline results include the average scores across all tests in an ideal network condition: clean, outside of business hours. And now we're going to drop packets: 5%, 20%, 40%, on to 70% packet loss. Here's what the analyst finds interesting. Look at Zoom and Microsoft Teams. Those guys scored excellent through 5% loss. But at 20%, even 40% packet loss, only Zoom remained in that excellent range. Great loss handling. Cisco, Webex, and Google Meet, though, they didn't score as well on this test. Google seemed to have an issue dropping frames on occasion, so we weren't surprised at their lower scores, but Cisco's low initial score did surprise us. Webex has generally tested well in our subjective research. Now, if you look here, Webex meetings had a tendency to auto-adjust the video image despite us disabling the auto-adjustment settings. Here's an example comparing the dark video. You can see Webex has adjusted the image. It's something that a user may not notice, but an algorithm comparing the recording to a reference file might not appreciate as much. That said, Cisco gets the analyst hat tip for loss handling. Webex definitely delivered the smallest score decline across packet loss tests in these tests. Yep, video gets all the attention, but audio is pretty important as well, especially in a meeting environment. Let's give you a few results. All right, we're following the same charting format, but this time we're using Viscal as our scoring solution. In the baseline audio test, you see Zoom still on top, but we have a tight grouping with Google Meet and Cisco Webex right nearby. Microsoft Teams audio, however, did not score as well in these tests. Now we're testing Microsoft's Silk Wide codec here. The new Satin codec did not surface on the Teams meeting platform during this evaluation. Now, as we drop packets, Google holds on at 5%, but only Zoom and WebEx maintain very well. In fact, all the way through 70% loss. Again, this is excellent loss handling on display. Now, both Microsoft and Google scores did decline as we dropped packets. Both of them ended up in bad territory by the time we got to 70% loss. Okay, let's look at audio results for calling solutions. Here we use the VISCL scoring metric again, calling specific test flow, right? That means we evaluated calling enabled services, connected clients directly instead of to a meeting platform. We tested calling oriented clients in a few cases, comparing Cisco's UC1 calling app to its WebEx Teams calling experience, for an example. At the baseline, field scores good to excellent. See Cisco's UC1, Ring Central, Zoom Phone, all bunched there at the top. Microsoft Teams Phone, WebEx Teams 8x8, yeah, they're bunched right below them. At 5% packet loss, the order shifts. Everyone's still in good territory. But at 20%, that's where we see the pack start to separate. Zoom takes a little mini dip. You see WebEx Teams showing that Cisco loss handling, and Microsoft still maintaining well. It gets the analysts a little excited. Microsoft Teams audio did not score well in our meeting evaluation, especially as we started dropping packets, but here they're much improved. This is their Satin codec on display, delivering higher overall quality and giving us that loss handling goods all the way up to 20%. At 40%, you see the pack separate further. Zoom's still holding well, but the rest of the field drops. And here at 70%, only Zoom Phone remains in fair territory. I'd classify the audio quality there as workable. It's not ideal. You know there's some loss happening, but you can hold that conversation. You wouldn't want to conversate long in that bad territory, though. Those are the calls you will want to drop and dial back in from. So there you have it. Just a quick view, a few top-level results from this Wainhouse quality evaluation. Call it a 100,000-foot view of the tip of our quality iceberg. I'll close by noting, this evaluation was conducted at a point in time. Understand that. Each of these vendors has been busy, updating, iterating, enhancing their platforms. So we'll continue this test series over time, keeping tabs on each solution as they evolve. Thank you very much for your time. Take care.